Hello and welcome back. We are learning AWS Auto Scaling. Inside this AWS Auto Scaling, we have started the topic of termination policy, and inside this termination policy, today we are going to talk about custom termination policy. We already discussed about default termination policy. We also discussed about built-in termination policy, and today our topic is to talk about custom termination policy. Before I am going to explain you about custom termination policy, let me explain you the use case of termination policy, and then we will discuss about custom termination policy. As you know that in AWS Auto Scaling, we can increase number of EC2 instance, we call it scale out, and we can also decrease number of EC2 instances by terminating them, we call it scale in. Now let's say that if I have 10 instances are running right now, but these 10 instances are actually over provisioned and I am not able to utilize them 100%. In this case, AWS Auto Scaling will decrease number of EC2 instances. Decreasing means deleting or terminating some of these instances. Now I have 10 instances are running over there. Which instance Auto Scaling group is going to terminate? This is totally based on the termination policy. There are some default termination policy, built-in termination policy, and the last one we have is custom termination policy. When we are going to use custom termination policy, we have total control on which instance we are going to terminate. First of all, before I am going to explain you this, let's find out this particular option from our auto scaling group. Right now, I am in my AWS console, and inside AWS console, I am inside the EC2 dashboard. When you scroll down, you will get auto scaling, and inside this auto scaling, we have auto scaling group. Today, I have my one auto scaling group ready to use, so I am going to use this. So inside auto scaling group, you will get the first tab, details. And when you scroll down the details, you will get advanced configuration. In the advanced configuration, you will get termination policy, and these are the termination policy. Default policy is there. There are some other policies. We already discussed about the default and built-in termination policies. Today, we are going to discuss about custom termination policy. So you can choose custom termination policy over here, and once you choose this, you have to find out, or you have to set up Lambda function. If you don't know about Lambda, let me explain you this as well. Lambda is another AWS serverless service. If you want to run code from the different or various languages, like from Go language or from Java or Node.js or Python, right? So if you want to write code and if you want to run this code without provisioning server, you can use Lambda over here in AWS. Right now, we are not going to set up any Lambda function because we are going to learn this in upcoming days. So if I am going to set up this right now, it will definitely confuse you. Okay, so we are not going to run Lambda function over here, but yes, you just need to remember that if you want to set up custom termination policy, you have to write Lambda function in a different or a various language, and then you can run this Lambda function here in the custom termination policy. So this is the way to set up the custom termination policy, but why we need to run Lambda function, why we are going to use this, let's understand all this using mind map. So here I have the first introduction. Custom termination policy provides better control over which instances are terminated and when. When we are going to use default policy or built-in policy, somehow we don't have control on which instance AWS Auto Scaling is going to terminate. But here we have total control. A Lambda function can be used in conjunction with the custom termination policy to provide advanced programmable logic for determining which instance to terminate during the scaling event. So yes, you have to write your own logic. You can use various languages to write the logic because Lambda supporting most of the languages over there. But The main problem over here is why we need to use this. Okay, because AWS is already providing us many termination policies. So why we need to use this? In the interview or in the exam, you may get question about this, right? So here, I'm going to provide you 5 solid reasons that why we need to use custom termination policy. Why we are going to write our own logic into the Lambda, and then we are going to implement this with our custom termination policy. So here we have these 5 reasons. The first reason we have is better control over which instances to terminate. Okay. Sometimes what happens, standard rule might not be fit for all the needs. Sometimes the usual ways AWS decide which EC2 instance to shut down don't match exactly what you need. Okay. Somehow in your application you have different logic. If AWS policies like default policy or built-in policy is not able to satisfy your requirement. Okay, in this case, you can use this. Custom checks for the better choices. Picking up a specific servers based on a special labels, like you have tagging over there, and based on the tags you want to terminate specific instance. You want to terminate instance based on the different metrics. Metrics means the performance of the CPU, the performance of networks, performance of storage, performance of memory. Based on this performance, okay, you want to measure your own performance, and based on this you want to terminate specific instance. Then you have to set up custom termination policy. Another reason which is really very useful, it is graceful shutdown of application. Let me tell you, when AWS Auto Scaling is going to terminate the instance, okay, it is going to terminate the instance suddenly. Okay, it will terminate your running instance, but you don't want to do this. Okay, you want graceful shutdown of application. Regular rules for terminating EC2 instance might stop them suddenly while they are still working. Your Lambda function can initiate graceful shutdown sequence with the instance before terminating. This prevents data loss, service disruption, and improve overall application resilience. Okay, so this is one of the solid reason we have. You don't want your instance to terminate suddenly. The third reason, hi, I am Bhavesh Atara from CloudFolks HUB. To watch full video, please visit our website or CloudFolks HUB Android and iOS app. We are going to upload full video daily on our portal. You can visit our portal and you can enroll to our 100 days challenge course. Right now, for first 1000 students, for India, it is just 499 rupees fees, and for abroad, you just need to pay only 7 USD. We are going to upload daily full videos over there, and this challenge will be continued for 240 days. Thank you very much. See you inside the app. Goodbye.